free and pick it up after work. I hope.
On the 4th of July.
Oh, right. I completely forgot it was a holiday.
For the rest of the country.
Oh, well, not for journalists. And, grand jury. It's a real runaway group. Thatcher wants me to interview this man they're interrogating this morning. A fellow they've been trying to get something on for years. An impeccable businessman.
Sounds exciting. I'm sure you'll do fine.
I'm sorry I have to rush off like this. I haven't done nearly enough homework. And that comment before about journalists, it was aimed at you.
I know. Mayor, whatever happened, your morning's free?
Oh, today I get the afternoon.
I'll bet.
What are you going to do, honey?
Work.
Well, work, of course. But I meant what on?
One of the luxuries of unemployment, intensive research. Frank has a lot of materials on healthcare I'd like to look at. I thought I'd drop by his office.
On the 4th of July?
Yeah, knowing Frank and his people, I'm sure somebody will be there.
Hello. Yeah? What? I see.
What's up?
Dave Feldman.
Something about Pat and Nancy.
I'm afraid so.
Well, what? Who called? I knew last night something would happen.
It was the hospital that called. Honey, Dave had a stroke last night.
No.
Yeah, look, I've got to get to the hospital and check the x-rays. He may need surgery.
Oh, my God, I killed him.
Honey, please, don't.
Oh. They'll blame me. They'll find out I made that phone call. And they'll know I wanted him to go there and see Pat and Nancy on the houseboat, and I did. But I didn't mean for... Oh, my God, can I get prosecuted? Roger?
Oh, honey, please, calm down.
Why did I do such an awful thing? Oh, they'll come and get me. It's like murder.
In the first place, Dave is alive.
But what if he dies? I did it. I made it happen.
No, that is nonsense. If Dave was going to have a stroke, it would come one way or another. Now, anything could have caused it.
But it wasn't anything. It was me.
Look, Delia, if you insist on taking the blame, then
No,
I can't.
I don't. But they'll blame me.
Nobody knows who made that call.
But they will. They'll know. I know they'll know.
Who's they?
Pat and Nancy. Mrs. Feldman. Maybe Dave knew and he told her. Maybe he said something when he was having the stroke.
You talked to Dave at Ryan's. Now, all that Dave knew was that he got a call from a lady from the credit card company asking to verify Nancy's new address.
Yeah, but he said he'd never forget that voice, remember?
He said that to you?
Yes, weren't you there? You went to get coffee.
Clearly, Dave did not match up your voice with the voice on the phone.
Right. It was a good disguise, I know. But I never would have done it if I knew he'd get so upset he'd have a stroke.
Honey, it wasn't the phone call that upset Dave. It was Pat and Nancy.
That's right, isn't it?
Yes, look, they were the ones playing with fire. Everybody warned them.
They shouldn't have done what they did. All of a sudden, moving in together like that, it was wrong. I mean, you and I did it, but we weren't risking anything. We weren't breaking anybody's heart. Maeve. Oh, God, she's gonna hate me forever.
Honey, take it easy. Maeve doesn't know that there's the slightest connection between you and Dave going over to the houseboat.
She will. Maeve knows everything. She'll figure out that I made it happen, and she'll say I did a terrible, manipulative thing, and she'll say I never changed. Maybe I haven't.
Of course you have. I mean, there was a slight relapse.
Dr. Pagano told me you can never change anything but yourself. But see, that's what's confusing, because I've always been good at making things happen, like my commodities and Ryan's. I mean, look at that. If I could do all that,
You thought that you could make Maeve love you again.
Well, she did. We were getting close. Now everything I've built up with her will be ruined.
No, not necessarily.
I gotta go see her. Then I'll know. If she suspects me, I'll be able to tell.
Look, honey, maybe you better leave well enough alone.
No. No. And besides, if you're right, if she hasn't any suspicions, then she's gonna feel perfectly terrible. She'll need me to comfort her.
Now we got this question here.
Let's do one. Lighter. Talk to you later. Bill Barnes here.
I don't know why you think Joe Novak is going to make you a statement. He never has before.
Maybe nobody ever asked him nicely before. I'll get him to talk. If I have to stand on my head.
Here we go. Mr. Novak. Please tell us anything about the question.
Hold it, Novak. Did he ask anything about
What about the Brown stolen about children being Novak? What about the reports on pieces about these helps? Give us a statement.
Channel 1 News, do you feel you've been treated fairly?
Mr. Novak has no statements at this time.
What about reports linking you with drug smuggling on the South Shore?
Is that your limo outside? And if so, is that bulletproof glass?
Are you saying that you're completely innocent, sir?
There are no accusations against my client. What there has been is harassment by a politically motivated district attorney.
Do you want to make a statement on that, Mr. Hanley?
Is that accurate, Mr. Novak?
You've heard that statement now, Mr. Henley. Do you have anything to respond to it?
Certainly. The Office of the District Attorney is not in the habit of harassing private citizens. Mr. Novak's involvement in the fishing business on the South Shore would only prove to be of assistance to us in our investigation if he chose to be more cooperative.
What about that fishing business, Mr. Novak? Does that fleet really exist?
Yeah, what about
Mr. Novak has no comments.
Hold it, Harry. The lady asked me a straight question. I don't want to be uncooperative, do I? After all, it's a tough business for a pretty girl. May I?
Oh, please.
Yes, I do run some boats, 5 of them. You can come down and count them anytime you like. I run a legitimate business out of Sheep's Head Bay in Brooklyn. In fact, if the district attorney wants to send Mr. Hanley here to go over my boats, all he has to do is bring a warrant, and he's welcome to spend the day. As for me, I'm generally too busy running that business to spend much time on questions and answers about imaginary problems. Would you care to elaborate on that, Mr. Novak?
What problems do you consider imaginary, sir?
That's all, miss. Come on, Joe, let's go.
Sorry, dear.
No, but what about that brownstone in any second video? What about those things? Mr. Novak.
Thanks, sweetie. Well, I don't have to like them. At least we got a good story out of it, eh?
I'm afraid not, Mary. The damn thing jammed.
Jammed? You mean you didn't get it?
No, every once in a while.
Oh, good grief. You mean we have to do it all over?
Oh, you can line him up again, can't you? He likes you.
Oh, you like me. Wonderful. Well, he's gone by now. Okay, listen, you go back to the studio and exchange the equipment, and we'll go down. I'll meet you there. Where? Sheepshead Bay?
All right.
Where does Novak live?
You sure I can't give you a hand?
Oh, no thank you, Bob. I have to keep my hands busy or I'm afraid they'll start shaking. Why don't you help yourself to some coffee? There's no change then, huh?
No, apparently Dave is holding his own. They're still not sure if they're going to have to operate or not.
Oh, dear Lord. Francis is still over there?
Yeah, he's making calls for Beryl. Doing what he can, which really isn't very much. You know, he had a whole string of 4th of July things scheduled. Had to cancel the whole bunch.
Well, I can imagine. He and Dave, their friendship has a lot more than politics in it. I hope he's not feeling responsible. I know that Dave asked him to keep Nancy in Washington, but how could he?
Oh, no way. Nancy told me herself she would have quit and moved up here anyway. I probably shouldn't say anything, but I think Dave should have steered clear of the whole situation.
Well, I agree with you, and then again, I don't. Both John and I believe with all our hearts that we shouldn't interfere in our children's lives, but what can you do when you see two people headed for unhappiness? I mean, it's very hard. Yeah. I myself have been praying these last few weeks that something would come along to make those children come to their senses, but, oh, God, it certainly didn't mean anything like this.
Hey. All right.
I just found out about Dave, Bobby.
Hello, honey.
He didn't die, did he?
Oh, no, darling.
Oh, I feel just terrible. You know, he was here when you and Johnny were at the ball game. I was so worried then.
You were here?
I know that you had a talk with Dave. I've been wanting to ask you, what did he say?
Well, not too much. He was so upset. You know, he just found out about Pat and Nancy living together, and he wanted Johnny to go out to the houseboat with him. He went by himself instead.
Dee, how did he find out?
I'm not sure exactly. Something about a phone call. Excuse me, I'm not saying this very well. It's such a shock. Dave came in here, and I was here in the kitchen doing the potatoes, and he had this little piece of paper with the address of the houseboat on it. And, of course, I recognized it right off because remember the night Bucky pushed me into the dock? You know, you don't forget things like that.
David.
Dee, how did he find out about them in the houseboat?
From the piece of paper. I mean, he didn't say exactly. Anyway, he was in a fit about Pat and Nancy, and I tried to calm him down. Honest, I did. I said, even if we all disapprove, you know, it's not really so uncommon these days living together, and it's not exactly like they're getting married.
You said that?
No, I didn't say that in so many words. I don't know what I said, but he was so angry. Not at me, but at the situation, and... Oh, I guess there wasn't any way I could put it that would make it be all right, do you think? You don't think I did it, do you? I mean, he was only here 5 minutes, and I tried to head him off.
Didi, now please, just stop. I'm sure you did the best you could at a bad time.
Oh, May. Oh, I hope he doesn't die. I mean, Pat and Nancy will feel just terrible. They must now.
We all do, dear. But it certainly isn't anybody's fault, and least of all yours. Please, try to relax. I have to take these out to Kevin. The breakfast people are going to be needing them.
Well, I guess Pat and Nancy probably won't even want to see each other anymore.
Yeah, on the other hand, some people find the more that happens to them, the closer they stick together.
Jack, how come?
I want to do some research. I thought Georgia might let me look through the healthcare files. Where is everybody?
Oh, parading, picnicking, etc. Except for Frank. He's over with Dave. You heard?
Mother called this morning. Awful.
Yeah, poor Patty. All he was in love.
So you're holding down the fort for Frank?
Well, he gave me his key so I could do some work in private. I'm writing a new lecture. I couldn't really work at home with Finn breathing down my neck and Ma around.
Oh, come on. Your mother doesn't bother you.
Never. When I'm surrounded with family planning literature, though, she gets this really spaced out look on her face, you know. Kind of dampens my creative drive.
Well, I don't want to do that to you, so,
You? Nah, don't be silly. Well, you can find what you want. Maybe I can help you. We can both work. I'm settled down in there. You can use George's desk. Nothing but privacy. We can lock the door. Practically this whole drawer is full of healthcare stuff. Well, you can do it without my help. You can read the labels. You know, having spent less time than I have here, you're probably unfamiliar with George's, the eccentric filing system she has. She kind of has this cross-reference arrangement. Kind of works on the principle of stream of consciousness.
sounds wonderful. She does use the English alphabet.
Sure. Like if you want to know all about the cost of medical care, you can just look under M for money or S for sick. Stupid. I'm sorry.
Relax, okay?
I can't. That's just the trouble. I'm just beginning to realize it. It's always here for us. I mean, for me.
You were right the first time. It's going to take us a little while to forget what happened.
Nothing happened. Not really.
We came closer than we wanted to. We both care about each other a lot. But that's not infidelity, and it's not disloyalty.
You'd hope we wouldn't have a problem. Only we do. Because I don't know how to be with you anymore. What I really hate is not being able to talk to you. Reading me the way you do, without my having to apologize or justify for myself. Feeling good about myself. Damn. That's hard.
Croce. Deliziaco.
It's from Traviata.
Beautiful and painful.
Certainly is painful.
Siobhan, there's nothing bad about what you feel. What matters is you're being honest. You know where you are. You know how to behave.
I know how not to behave. One thing's good, though. I'm certainly used to not getting my way.
Yeah, that's part of growing up.
It's really not fair, you know? I'm not the one you want. It's Mary. I could... I could punch her for how she's
hurt you.
Well, don't forget, I've given her share of hurt. I'm okay. Are you?
Absolutely.
Senator Ryan's office.
Jack? Oh, good. Am I glad I remembered where you were. Listen, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, Mayor.
Remember that guy I told you about that the grand jury was after? Well, I got an interview with him, which was not easy. And I found out the camera went fluey, and I have to set it all up again, if you'll let me.
You want me to help?
Well, I was wondering if you knew anything about him, or maybe Jumbo might. His name's Joe Novak.
Novak? Yeah, sure. Sure, I know him from way back.
You do?
Yeah, we used to work on the docks together for a while. He gets around. You want me to call him for you?
Oh, honey, if you would, I'd be so grateful. I should wait here by the phone?
Yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Oh, you're wonderful. I love you.
So much for research. Siobhan?
What if the perfect guy for you is in LA or DC or New York City? Get ready to take a holiday. A new original reality series premieres Wednesday, July 29th at 10 on SoapNet.